Hey guys, it's Christian Singh here back from CNH Small again for another informative video. This one deals with firearms parts and maintenance as well too. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is basically Mosin maintenance and different parts you can upgrade on your gun. Basically, what I have in front of me here is a magazine that the Finns modified for their M39. These are called a no jam magazine because they have a little pressed notch in on the portion of the magazine right here that actually lets them not jam as much as the typical Russian ones and the other like Chinese and other variants of your Mosin negatives out there. For that, the Finns upgraded most of their parts for their Mosin negatives whenever they actually either made them or made the newer M39 finished Mosin negatives as well too. So these are an excellent upgrade for your if you have a Russian, a Chinese, a Romanian, whatever version of Mosin negative you currently have that's not a Finnish sourced gun. Basically, you can upgrade them with these magazines, and it'll have a less jamming effect on the actual magazine down there as well too. So it's a good upgrade. You can buy these things on Gun Broker and on eBay as well too. Most of the time they're like 20, 30 bucks or whatever. I basically buy the stripped down ones because you just reuse your original magazine floor plate and the bottom of the magazine as well too down there for that. So you don't have to worry about like mismatch and like your bottom of the part numbers and stuff like that for that. It's a good upgrade. If you have a Mosin negative, might be jamming sometimes on there for that, then this will more than likely correct your problem with it on there for that. So it's a good upgrade. They're about 20, 30 bucks depending on where you source them at, plus the overall condition of them as well too. And it's a good upgrade as well. Next part is the triggers for the Mosin negatives. I think I may have made a video about this a while back, so I'm going to make another updated video. The finished M39s, they do have upgrade triggers in them, and this is an example of one right here. Plus they also have the sear spring as well too. They basically took existing ones or made new sear springs, and basically what they did was they polished portions of the sear spring right here, plus they actually put a little bevel on the back here and polished at the front here where it contacts your rear bolt cocking piece, and vastly improved the trigger's responsiveness and functionality. So whenever you have a you put your trigger back, you have a nice clean short break. You don't have a real long gritty travel break on there for that as a typical like Russian and other variations out there that didn't have a lot of polishing and finesse put into them. So it's a good upgrade. These ones can be had on eBay for about maybe, I think about 10, 15 bucks. I think last time I purchased them. It's a good upgrade, and plus they do work well with your trigger as well too. The Finnish upgrade triggers, they have two little pins they put underneath here. So basically what it does is it actually, let me see, get a better picture for you guys. You can see this on left hand, it's just me putting back here left. There we go. It goes just like that down inside there. And by putting two little roll pins up inside here, it puts more pressure, so you don't have to have a lot of travel for your trigger. So it helps with your accuracy as well too for that. So these things are about another 15, 20 bucks as well too. They're a good investment. And the last portion, or the last thing I have here, it's two, sorry about that, is shims for your Mosin negatives. Basically, shims, you basically put these down inside your stock. So whenever your receiver goes down inside a stock, you put these things to raise up the receiver up off the stock. So it'll basically act as like a free floating mechanism to keep your barrel. So whenever you actually shoot your gun, your barrel is actually almost like a semi or almost full floating barrel out there for that. You get one in the front portion, looks like a rectangular square right here, and you have one that goes in a tang the back of your receiver. You put one in the back, one in the front, and it takes it up about I'd say about a millimeter, like or less than a millimeter maybe for these things, but it will help your accuracy as well too. Basically, that's what you want to do to get the most accuracy out of your gun, your sights, your trigger down there, your barrel, and also just keep your barrel up off the stock on there for that. And you'll probably get better accuracy out of a generally average gun out there for that. So those two things. Plus, the last part I got over here for the Mosin thing here is your ejector, I should say, your ejector. They have two different types of ejectors for your Mosin. This one right here, this is one of the older, I think pre-1930s, I think, on here for it. It's a solid one-piece ejector on here for that, as opposed to your extractor, which is on your bolt head. This is the ejector portion. I personally recommend using these things in most of my guns, because the reason I recommend them is because most of them are in, like, I'd say basically brand new or new old stock condition. I bought these from a guy over in Finland about a year ago, and they're all in like perfect basically shape. They don't have any wear on them at all, and they basically function a lot better than your typical older ones. The older ones, or I said the actual newer ones that are a replacement for this one-piece design or the two-piece designs right here, I have them from here. Basically, what they do is they fit. Let me see here. I'm trying to remember how these things went down in the magazine here, but I'm left-handed, so sorry about that. And the newer ones, the two-piece design, they went to that design because it was easier to manufacture and it took less materials, I guess, basically. However, when these things fit inside here, I do have a little bit of a slop around inside down here where the older design does not have any slop whatsoever. So what I do is basically took my one Russian Mosin and compared it to basically these ones do function, I'd say maybe about 10-50% better. So whenever you cock your bolt back and you flip it either, you don't have to flip it out as hard or as fast either for that. So it's basically a slight improvement over the newer design. The old one-piece design is a slight improvement over the newer two-piece design right there for that. So basically what I do is basically test it. I put my 5 rounds in the back box magazine and I cycled them up as you normally do and see how far they basically fly. The newer design, the two-piece design right here, they would basically pop out maybe about a foot and a half, 2 foot out there. If I had the other one in here like this one, they would actually make them fly quite a distance over here. So it actually ejected them better because there's no movement at all in here for that, where it has movement in the second piece right here. So basically had, let me see, this is upside down. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to think how it wouldn't have gone here, but I think they went like that. Yeah, I think. Let me see here. You have this little bit of movement down so the gun like there like that. And you're always going to have it because you have this knots cut out right there, so it's still going to be moving just a teeny bit, and that will affect the gun's ability to throw out the spent casing or the live round from the chamber out there was cycled there for that. So it's a good upgrade. They're about 20 bucks on eBay. The guy over in Finland still has them. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he does still have them. Last time I checked, that was about a few months back. It's a good upgrade for your Mosin. Okay, the next thing is maintenance on your Vepr 12. If you're like me and basically shoot powered rifled slugs and like stuff like that through a gun, I basically shoot these all the time on my gun, except for sometimes where I shoot double-aught buck and stuff like that. Slugs, they do tend to let up your barrels, even though you have chrome lined barrels in there and stuff like that. These things do let up your barrels, especially the area after the chamber and in the first 1 to, I'd say about 3 or 4 inches up to the gas port holes where your gas buck is right there for that. And basically what I do is to clean out the barrel is 2 things. Basically what you do is get a couple brand new 12 gauge wire brushes like this, and you stick them on, let me see, I got one around here. You stick them on a bore clean rod, and you put the chuck on there, obviously. Then you get an electric screwdriver, and you get a rod that's about maybe 3 or 4 foot long. Well, basically, you take your entire bore clean brush, is about maybe 3 foot long, and you basically stick this up inside the whole bore, and you go up and down there, back and forth with some Hoppy's cleaner on here, and you let it soak for, I'd say, about a day and a half, and you make about 3 or 4 passes with a new one, then get another one, and make another 3 or 4 passes with another new one. Then get your mop, here, your 12 gauge mop right here, and you basically pull the crap out of the end. And you can also use what's it called, brake cleaner. The last thing I use is brake cleaner after I do that. And then the last portion, you get your 12 gauge hoppy snake and you pull it straight through there. And that'll take about 90, I'd say probably about 99% of the actual lead that gets built up down inside the bore and the chamber area, because slugs, as most people know, basically how they're designed is when they shoot out of the bore on there, they leave a lot of streaking down inside the barrel. These wolf power rifle slugs, for whatever reason, they do leave a lot of streaking down inside the actual barrel, so that's why I was recommending this, having it done for your cleaning up of the barrel, because you don't want all that build up down inside your chamber area and the first part of your I'm going to call it the actual barrel itself is anyway. So that's a good quick way of doing it. Basically just hit it with the wire brush about 2 times. Each new one, go up and down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get another one, do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and put hoppies on these things. Just put a little bit of hoppies in a like a little can, dip it in there. Don't dip it in your hoppies big can, contaminate. You don't want to do that. But that's a quick way of cleaning it. If you want to leave your gun sit for maybe a couple days in some upright position, so you can leave all the crap just like leak out onto a big pie plate or something like that after you get done doing that. And basically, the last thing is be to take your mop and just pull it straight through like that, and actually clean up the remainder of the crap. If that doesn't get it out, like I said before, put your 12 gauge bore snake down inside there. Then as last resort, and that still doesn't get over 100% of it out of there, you can take some like 00 buckshot. You can get some of the high-powered turkey rounds, like 3-inch rounds, and that'll basically shoot out the remainder of the lead down inside or for that. And that's basically one way to clean out a really leaded up barrel that you basically shoot like slugs at, because I basically go to my range and go to 50 and 100 yard distance and shoot slugs with these slugs exclusively up there, to try to make sure your gun's sighted and still anything else, any problems with it and everything else like that for it, because slugs tend to put nice big holes there. It's almost like a 50 caliber type of hole they put in the target up there for that. So basically, that's a quick way of doing a good thorough cleaning for your shotgun, that you use slugs exclusively in it to clean it up nice and quick. So if anybody has any questions, comments, whatnot about I talked right here, just drop me a message in the bottom of the page here, and I'll try to answer any questions you have, whether it's regarding your Mosin agent or the Vepr 12 cleaning and maintenance for that. So, and we'll go from there. If anybody else needs anything else done, I should be making some more videos about a couple other guns I got here in the future here. So keep tuned for the channel, and I'll get back to you guys. Thanks.